for sharing that.
Yeah.
In your book, you've coined this term called the 30-10 promise. I think it's crucial to this chapter and choice. Riff on that for a few minutes.
So Stephen Covey started with, weekly daily planning, and we put the numbers to it to say you should take 30 minutes to do weekly planning and 10 minutes to do daily planning every day. And we turned that into, my co-authors and I turned that into the 30-10 promise. So we say, take 30 minutes before the week starts and quietly think about what are the few big rocks against those roles that you need to put in your calendar, because also writing things down and getting it in neurologically will raise the probabilities of getting that done, and that's a start. One thing I want to point out here is why 30 minutes? And being from New York City, like 30 minutes is, like a year. Right. For New York, it's like, why 30 minutes? I can do it in 5. The point is, as you've heard, some of the emotion by which we're speaking around how we utilize our time. I don't care how much time you take, but you have to get out of the back of your brain, your reptilian brain. Because if we just thought, okay, let me do my weekly planning, you're doing it from an urgency state, a survival state. So we say, take some time, get into the prefrontal cortex, and just take a few minutes, think about my roles, and other things, because it might be, I got to do the laundry this week. I can't, and think about what are the few big rocks that need to get done and plan them. So if that takes you 20 minutes, fine. For some people, they spend an hour doing it. It's the principle behind the 30-10 promise that we are talking about here, that you're doing it intellectually with some heart, not just from a survival point of view. So that's weekly planning to get a few big rocks in your calendar. And then we say 10 minutes at the end of every day. Some people like doing planning in the morning. I have chosen not to because the imminency of the day is upon us. And anybody who's dealing with young kids.
Almost as soon as you wake up, right?
Right, and people are picking up their phones. You go urgent almost immediately. At the end of the day, if you can, between work and home, is a great time to just, okay, let me just clean up the mess from the day, and mark things complete. Do you ever mark things? You like marking things complete?
Who doesn't?
So
the satisfaction that comes from that is immeasurable.
It is immeasurable, and I'll tell you what that is. When you mark, you go.
Yes.
It's a dopamine hit. It's it goes right to the reward center of success. And here's something I see commonly around the world. Let's see if this works for you. Did you ever do this where you have a legal pad? And you started your day and you have your list of things you're going to do. And then you go and you do your stuff, and then you come back to your office and you've done something that wasn't on your list. Yeah. See, I can already tell on your face. Yeah, right. And when nobody's looking, you write it on the list just to be able to cross it out. How am I doing?
It's not bad.
It's not bad. It's fun to think about, but what you're doing there is you are manufacturing or ensuring yourself that you are accomplishing things. It's like you don't want to miss it. But the problem is when you're doing that and you think about the quadrants, it's a quadrant 3 or 4 activity that you're doing because it's sort of useless. But it makes you feel good. The point with that is when you do weekly daily planning, you are much more in control of, here's the things that I'm going to get done that are really, really important. Here's my list of things that will get done. So you will be marking things complete more often when it's more controlled, and only once in a while will you feel the need to I did that, let me cross it off.